they're way off, that's for sure.
And if that was a parent making decisions like that, oh, sorry, you know, I need a little financial help because I spent $900,000 fixing up my backyard so the kids could have a swimming pool, you know, and now I don't have any food, they'd take your kids away for sure. That'd be crazy, you know. And they're looking after 10,000 children in, you know, 10,000 children are in care. 4,000 and some children are in homes of relatives, and 160 some children are under kith and kin agreements. So they have a lot more children to be concerned about. So their decisions are, it's crucial that they make a proper decision in every case, not in some cases.
And fair play too, you know. And I mean, you would
Fair
expect
play.
that. You would expect that from your government because they expect it from you. You know, your government expects you to be honest, truthful, upstanding citizens. Well, why can't we expect that from them? And you can be assured, ladies and gentlemen, that this is not going on in the courtrooms or in the facilities of MCFD.
If you need
Not going on. It is not going on. And I'd like to bring up something that we touched upon before, and it was about the native situation. And we, you know, we discussed, you know, what the outcome was when you take native children. Like, I mean, they just didn't come in and take one or two children from a village. They went in and took hundreds of children from each village and brought them to residential schools hundreds of miles away, you know, away from their families, away from their uncles, their aunts and nieces and nephews, and everybody lived in the same village. It was a tight community, right? And then without the children, imagine how the adults felt. The grandmothers, the grandfathers, the uncle. Oh, the massive grief. And that's where the alcohol and the drugs started, within their community. And now that you have...
Well, there was also the sexual abuse that went on in the residential homes. The girls who got pregnant and then their babies were killed. You know, that kind of thing led to some, you know, severe emotional harm and trauma
is that the way
that led to...
But is that the way that the natives started off?
No, but that's what we're seeing.
No, but they were such a community, you know.
And they still are for what they've been through.
True.
Holy shit.
For sure.
I think they're an incredible, you know, and in, you know, like the families I know that are First Nations, they don't, you know, judge anybody. And, you know, you could show up after 5 years of not being there, and if you're a family member, you got a place to sleep and food to eat. You know, and if you have alcohol or drug addiction, it's not brought up, you know, I mean, it's not them hounding you for, you know, we need to get you on that TV show that helps people go to rehab. You know, it's not, you know.
They give you time to adjust. And,
exactly.
And time to figure it out for yourself.
But then again, they have awesome ways of dealing with that kind of thing. If, you know, if a family's got the money, just throw you in the big house and dry you out quick.
Yeah, that would be awesome if we could all have big houses, eh? We could throw social workers
As long as
in there.
I never had to go in.
What's the big house?
The big house is,
well,
they used to all live in long houses, right? A big house, and they would all, you know, families would share it. In some cultures, not in every, but, you know, like the big houses near where we live now, they use for, you know,
ceremonial
events,
purposes.
ceremonies, and, you know,
but,
if you're...
But there are actually big houses now that if a family wants another family member scooped up off the street, they'll pay a group of men to go and scoop this person up, and then they'll pay individuals, you know, give them, you know, $50 a week or whatever to look after their family members. Okay, now not only do they look after them, you know, they make sure that they don't speak. They'll take them every morning up to a big river.
Well, it's different
and they'll do spiritual cleansings. You know, there's things that, you know, I probably shouldn't say because
try and bring them back to
it's
the
their
roots,
spirituality
cultural
anyways, and the big house is
Yeah.
a place for a lot of
what they're actually trying to do is help that person be reborn, and that's exactly what was told to me. The exact words, you know, we want them to go through the rebirth process, you know, to come back to their ways, you know, and they end, you know, a lot of them end up um, richer for the experience, and every one of them say that. The ones that have gone through the whole 3 or 4 months, I think, um,
I
that
think
it
it's
takes.
longer than that. Or
Sometimes
whatever.
it's longer, but I mean, you know, if they're healed, you know, or the group feels that they're ready to leave, then yeah, oh, awesome, awesome
But so,
idea.
anyways, way
But the
off
whole
topic here.
community, the whole community's involved in it, right? And they support it as well, and that's the main thing.
See, that's why I'm saying they have a stronger community than you know.
And there's so much tradition involved in it too. You know, they get all dressed up, and
Yeah.
you know, there's either a black face or a red face, and you know, and everybody marches them, you know, to and from these different rituals that they.
Ceremony and rituals.
Oh, you know, it's
But it's good
amazing.
to practice, you know, I mean, your own spirituality, whatever suits you, right? Like, if you don't have a spirituality,
But when you
get
start
kinda
awakening,
lost.
I mean, everybody awakens to a spirituality at some time in their life. And if there's nobody there to answer their questions, you know, nobody there to answer their questions about why they feel this way or why they feel that way, you know, you can end up really damaging your psyche, you know, because, and sometimes that's the journey back to your roots. But if you've been scooped up and adopted out, and you don't have the money to be able to find out, you know, where you came from, you know, years down the road when you eventually want to find out, um, that's that's the devastating part. I think that this foster care program and the MCFD need to wake up to is that people will eventually go looking for their spirituality, and they'll go looking to find out who they came from, you know, and they're going to be
Their
pissed.
roots.
They're going to be
Usually
really,
Celtic roots.
yeah, it's same with Celtic roots, same with, you know, your European roots or whatever. But
But the thing is,
those are
sometimes
easier to
all you
find out,
find-
you know, like
sometimes all you find, you either find nothing and you end up, you know, just another homeless person on the street, or, you know, I mean, what you do find is parents or family who gave up, became depressed, and just let their life slip away, because nobody knows what it's like to live without their children until it's happened to them. Nobody knows what it's like to have the government dangling your children over your head until it happens to them.
Sure they do. Every parent who's ever had their kid kidnapped or
Oh,
ever
or
had their child died
people who've had their
knows
children,
exactly
well,
what
even
it feels
children
like.
dying. Those, you know, those parents, that's the worst case scenario, but those parents have a closure.
Hmm.
I feel every day I wake up and I think, oh my God, what can I do? What can I do? That's always my first thought. I've got to do something today.
It's like
You know,
your
it's
child
like
was
you-
kidnapped and you
and it's
never get to
missing.
see him again and you
It's
don't
like
know
you-
are they alive or dead.
Exactly. It's like I can really sympathize with parents whose child is missing, although I know mine are okay, thank God. But you know, to be
physically, emotionally.
physically, you know, sometimes.